drawing readers in with its hauntingly poetic language and themes of despair, love, and a search for meaning in an indifferent universe.
Wanna see something crazy?
But it is in the second act that the true horror unfolds. Those who read past the first act find themselves spiraling into madness, their minds corrupted by the eldritch truths revealed within. The central figure of the play, the King in Yellow, is a mysterious, malevolent entity who wears a tattered yellow robe, his face hidden behind a pallid mask. It is said that those who see his face will never be the same, as the mask conceals a truth so terrible it drives men to madness. The king is a harbinger of doom, a symbol of the inevitable decay of all things, and his presence in the play is both mesmerizing and terrifying. Chapter 1. The Mask. The first chapter, The Mask, delves into the theme of duality, exploring the idea that every person wears a mask to conceal their true nature. The text suggests that beneath the veneer of civilization lies a primal darkness, a truth too horrifying for most to bear. The soul wears a mask to protect itself from the gaze of the king, reads one chilling passage. The chapter hints that those who remove their masks are destined to encounter the King in Yellow, and in doing so, will uncover the horrifying reality behind their existence. Chapter 2. The Pallid Mask. In The Pallid Mask, the focus shifts to the King in Yellow himself, describing his tattered robe and the pallid mask that conceals his face. This chapter is steeped in dread, with detailed descriptions of the king's appearance and the overwhelming sense of despair that accompanies his presence. The chapter also introduces the lost city of Carcosa, a place where time and space are distorted, and where the King in Yellow reigns supreme. The text alludes to the idea that Carcosa exists outside of reality, a realm that can only be reached by those who have fully succumbed to madness. Chapter 3. Casilda's Song. This chapter centers around Casilda's Song, a haunting piece of music that recurs throughout the play. The song is said to contain a melody so otherworldly that it can drive those who hear it to insanity. The chapter provides the lyrics to the song, which speak of lost Carcosa, twin suns that cast alien shadows, and the inevitable arrival of the King in Yellow. The text suggests that the song serves as both a warning and a prophecy, foretelling the doom of those who dare to seek out the king. Chapter 4. The Stranger. In The Stranger, the text describes the encounter between the protagonist of the play and a mysterious stranger who appears out of nowhere. The stranger, who is eventually revealed to be the King in Yellow in disguise, speaks in cryptic riddles and alludes to the futility of human existence. "You have already met me in your dreams," the king whispers. "Now, meet me in your waking life." The chapter is filled with existential dread, emphasizing the idea that the king is not an external force, but a manifestation of the darkness that resides within all of us.
Honey?
But the gains are pumping.
Dad, is Mommy a finance bro?
She switched careers to make money.
Chapter 5. The Black Stars. The Black Stars serves as a chilling prelude to the final descent into the madness of the Yellow Sign. This chapter delves into the astral phenomena associated with the arrival of the King in Yellow, an event marked by the appearance of strange black stars in the night sky. These stars are said to be visible only to those who have been touched by the king's influence, their light casting an ominous shadow over the mind, warping perception and distorting reality. The chapter begins with a vivid description of the night sky, where the familiar constellations begin to shift and change, as if the cosmos itself is rearranging in anticipation of the king's coming. black stars do not shine, the text reads. They absorb the light, devouring it like a hungry void, leaving nothing but despair in their wake. These stars are described as being both a harbinger and a guide, leading the initiated towards the ultimate revelation of the yellow sign. As the protagonist of the play gazes upon these unnatural stars, they begin to experience visions, glimpses of Carcosa, where the black stars burn brightly in a sky of eternal night. The visions are haunting and surreal, depicting scenes of desolation and decay, where the very fabric of reality seems to unravel.
Better to ask for forgiveness than
The
permission.
text describes these visions in disturbing detail, with cities crumbling into dust, oceans turning to blood, and the sky itself tearing open to reveal an endless void. The chapter also introduces the idea that the black stars are not mere celestial bodies, but rather sentient entities, servants of the King in Yellow who watch over those who seek the truth.
Okay, so hey, trading plants every day, George Skull.
They are the eyes of the King, the text suggests, ever watchful, ever vigilant, drawing the chosen ones into his embrace. The chapter concludes with a terrifying realization. The black stars are a sign that the King is near, and that those who see them are already marked for doom. Chapter 6, The King in Yellow. In the final chapter, The King in Yellow, the play reaches its inevitable and catastrophic climax. The protagonist, having journeyed through realms of cosmic horror and despair, now stands before the King himself. The text vividly describes the King as a figure cloaked in tattered yellow robes, his face obscured by a pallid mask. There is a sense of dread that permeates the scene, as the very air seems to hum with the power of this otherworldly being. The King's presence is overwhelming, his voice resonating like the toll of a distant bell, each word a note of doom that echoes through the protagonist's soul. As the protagonist gazes upon the King, they are consumed by the realization that everything they have known is a lie, a mere illusion conjured by the yellow sign. The King in Yellow reveals the truth of Carcosa, a place where time and space are twisted beyond comprehension, where the laws of reality no longer hold sway. The protagonist's mind begins to fracture under the weight of this revelation, the boundaries between sanity and madness dissolving into nothingness. The text describes this psychological unraveling in harrowing detail, as the protagonist is stripped of their identity, their very being subsumed by the King's will. In the final moments, the protagonist succumbs completely to the King in Yellow. The chapter ends with a haunting scene. The protagonist, now a hollow shell, kneels before the King, their eyes vacant, their voice lost to the wind. The King, silent and impassive, turns and fades into the shadows, leaving behind only the yellow sign, glowing faintly in the darkness. The play concludes with the chilling implication that the King in Yellow will continue to claim more souls, each one drawn inexorably into the eternal night of Carcosa. The King in Yellow is not just a book, it is a doorway to madness, a key to forbidden knowledge that lies beyond the comprehension of mortal minds. Those who dare to read it risk losing themselves in its pages, their sanity shattered by the terrible truths it contains. As the King in Yellow himself might say, once you have seen the yellow sign, there is no turning back. Welcome to Carcosa.
I've sacrificed everything searching for it. A world within a story whispered to me centuries ago. Of a timeless power, infinite in knowledge, voracious in hunger.
There's a storm brewing shadows twist like snakes underneath the hanging tree where memory breaks.